So hi, welcome along. This is part 2 for draft beer at home setup, and in this short video we're just going to talk about what's needed for you to get the equipment to pour draft stout at home. There's just a couple of differences between the stout and ale or lager pouring, so we'll kind of fly through that. So start off in our shop, Nine White Deer /shop, to our beer. Just follow that link there for draft beer at home, the perfect solution. That just gives a little explainer of how it's done. So basically you buy the equipment. We have done a deal with iKegger in Belgium to give you a 10% discount off it by using the code 9WhiteDeer. They have free shipping on anything over 119 quid, and you get the equipment, you clean it, maintain it. It's really easy peasy stuff. Send us the keg, we'll fill it with whatever beer you want. We can even get it picked up for you, and we'll ship it straight back to you. So it'll be a fast turnaround, and we'll get everyone moving on draft beer at home. So follow the link. It brings us to the iKegger website, self-isolation packages, and this is what they're giving us the 10% on. So if we scroll down, as in the lager video, we just build our own kit. So let's wait for that to open. So it starts off again with the 2-litre keg, which is not really what we're interested in. That gives a really good close-up photo. So basically your beer is coming out. This is a picnic tap, pretty useless. I would always advise changing this out to a steel or a stainless steel tap, and even better again is one with the flow control in it. Here's our gas coming in, so our quick disconnect connects up to a regulator and CO2 setup. So the first thing we'll change is our keg size. We'll go for a 10-litre, and secondly we'll change out this picnic tap setup. So you see plastic picnic tap, we'll change that for, now you could go with the stainless steel tap disconnect or the other ones, but on this one you're not going to be able to connect on a nitro nozzle to it. This one you are, but you won't have flow control, and the flow control in this situation is pretty important because it gives you great control over the flow rate and hence the amount of foam that's been produced. If the beer is coming out too fast and it's high carb, or the temperature is a bit high, or the gas pressure is a bit low, you'll get foaming, but you'll be able to control that to a large extent with the flow control. And then we have the mini regulator. As we're going to be putting a SodaStream bottle on here and replacing this disposable CO2, it's going to be a bit of weight, so I'd advise changing this plastic out for stainless steel, so it's just a bit stronger. These can be prone to cracking at times, so just for the sake of it, you're gone this far, I'd nearly go with it. If you go for the one with the check valve will stop beer. If this was on its side and your pressure fell off here, or you had a leak or whatever, it will stop beer coming up in here to your regulator, and you really don't want that. So if you have beer growing in here, beer in here, you're going to get growth of nasties in here. It's going to be really hard to clean, so you want to avoid that if you can. So that's the basic setup. We need a few more things on this, so we'll add that to the cart. The first thing we'll do is we'll get the nozzle, so we'll have the dispense side set up. So we go to the shop, we come over here, so taps and shanks and stuff. So stout spout for intertap taps, that's the tap we have. So we'll order up this spout or nozzle, which just goes onto the tap. So we'll add that. And there you get, that's just what it looks like. From the outside it doesn't look any different, but on the inside you'll see there's a disc with a number of holes here. How it works works is the gas forces the beer through those holes, which knocks the nitrogen out of solution, and when it pours into the glass, you get the cascading effect of the nitrogen bubbles floating up and the bubbles collapsing, forming liquid beer coming down, cascading down. So that's our dispense side setup. We now want to change out this CO2 bulb to a SodaStream bottle, so we'll add that. Gas bottle and bulb, SodaStream 400 gram CO2 gas cylinder. So this comes filled, but really it's the bottle we're at. If you have one of these, then obviously you don't need to buy one. They're universal throughout everywhere. So if a normal charge to get one of these filled in Argos or Tesco or something is around 15 quid, but this is how we differ. We will fill this with the correct mix of gas, which is 25-75 CO2 nitrogen. So instead of pure nitrogen or pure CO2, there's only 25% and 75% nitrogen. If you have all CO2, what will happen in a stout is after a short period of time, the CO2 will get absorbed into the stout and it will start pouring high and it'll get worse and worse, and you'll just end up with your glass just full of foam and it'll be uncontrollable and it won't pour properly. It'll just be a disaster. So you need the correct gas for it. You can actually go the other way, it's fine, so long as it's not there for weeks and weeks. So you can pour a lager or an ale with that 75-25 mix. If it's left for a long time, the beer will just start to lose some of its CO2. It'll just get a bit smoother, a bit softer, but really you're talking a couple of weeks, and for 10 litres of beer, I don't think that's going to last a couple of weeks with any of us really. So we have the SodaStream cylinder. If we don't have one, we'll get one here. They can be got in other places as well. The price is pretty universal on them. And we just need an adapter now to screw this CO2 bottle onto the regulator. We go for the gas regulators, come down, we have the SodaStream adapter for mini CO2 regulator. So it's just a bit of machined brass. Or sorry, stainless. So add that to your cart. This screws into the regulator and your SodaStream bottle screws in at the top there. So we'll add that as well. So in the case of stout, what you're going to be sending us back is the CO2 bottle, the SodaStream bottle. We'll fill this for you, and the keg itself. We don't need the fittings, so keep them. They disconnect, they pop off very easily. Keep them because they don't want to get damaged in shipping. We'll get it collected. So we need the keg and we need the bottle. If you're doing lagers or ales, the CO2 will be absolutely fine with this. And that's it. So you're spending a bit more for your or for your stout setup. There's a few more bits in it, but it's yours to keep. It's good quality gear and it'll last a long time, and hopefully a lot of beer will go through it. So that's kind of it. We're going to order this equipment ourselves so that we can show you how to set it up. We're going to run through everything ourselves, do a video and get it pouring. Might do some Q&A and stuff, but really the videos on these guys' sites is very good as well. There's a lot of detail, and an instruction pack comes with every keg setup on how to set it up and do's and don'ts and stuff like that. So if we just go to checkout, so we're looking at 302 there, we'll get 10% off that. So 270 it should come out at something like that. 270. That's my maths has gone wrong. So that's down from 200 to 180. we don't get a discount on the smaller stuff. So that's it. Oh yeah, things are a small bit cheaper there. So yeah, 234 free shipping to Ireland. That's kind of it. So away we go. That's it.